What kind of log am I gonna get?
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna get this log right. I'm logging!
So you don't...
Fuck you. We both presented our arguments, and chat can decide who's right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Truth isn't a democracy. I'm right, McConnell's wrong. We've got the inside scoop on a previously unannounced feature launching at patch 9.1, Chains of Domination. Blizzard will be implementing a core Raider IO feature, Mythic Plus Scores. We have both an advocate and a primary driver of Mythic Plus Scores in the community since we started tracking Mythic Plus over 4 years ago. So we're flattered that Blizzard is acknowledging how important this system has become by adding it directly into WoW. The WoW development team has been in contact with us on this new Mythic Plus scoring system, and they've expressed that they have designed theirs in a very similar way to how Raider IO's scoring system works. Gentlemen, we are one step away from Gladiator in Mythic Plus. Blizzard, you can do it. You can do it, Blizzard. Take us over to that next step. Give them that 0.1%. We are so close. I'm very glad about this because Raider IO ruined the game. Listen, I know there's some Malding +5 depleters out there that are like, oh, now I'm never gonna be able to find a group. Well, listen. Yeah, nobody wants to take you to a fucking 15 if the best you've ever done is a fucking is a 7. Like, yeah, and your gear sucks. Raider IO is good. Yeah, Raider IO. Listen, here's the reality, is that every single thing in the game, even in real life, think about it in real life, there is always a quantitative, oftentimes relatively irrelevant thing that you are defined by. You know, you have guys that are, you know, like they're defined by their height. Girls, their bra size. And like people view certain numbers as better numbers. So the point that I'm making here is that Blizzard cannot prevent this from happening. They can try, but you are fighting against basic human behavior. You are fighting against core human psychology. And whenever you're having a war against human psychology, you will always lose. It says opt in or opt out. I had to make an account on Raider IO to hide all my characters. Will this work with the Blizzard thing? I can almost guarantee you every single person like this who wants to opt out because they have a shitty score. Do you think anybody who's clearing 20s is trying to opt out? Probably fucking not. The people are hiding
I would opt out of this shit.
Say what?
I would opt out. I don't even have the fucking add-on installed. I think anybody that installs Raider IO is a fucking loser. You gotta be one big fucking loser to install some add-on that tells you how good everybody is at doing a fucking dumbass dungeon. Fuck you.
Oh yeah? So we were talking about doing those Mythic Plus 15s on stream, getting our Keystone Master together. So I think,
yeah.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we blindfold ourselves? I'll get a little dartboard, and we'll write all the different people that queue up. We'll write their names on a dartboard. I'll put the blindfold on, and I'll throw a dart, and we'll just invite whoever. How you want to do that? Is that gonna be fun?
Let's fucking do it. Probably better content anyway.
Fuck off. All right, listen. I'm very glad that they're doing this. I think it's a good decision. I'm very happy about it, and I think it's generally a good call. It's a fantastic idea. Wait, how do you guys really think it's a good idea? Are you kidding me?
See?
Oh my god. Oh my god. What do you mean? Good content?
Listen.
What?
Raider IO is just another evolution of fucking gear score.
Yeah.
The gear score issue that was a problem in Wrath.
What was the issue?
The issue was you couldn't get into shit if you didn't have a high gear score, but you couldn't get a high gear score unless you got into shit. It's the exact same thing that Eswin was saying the other day about getting into fucking raids. And if it wasn't gear score, then it's fucking achievements. And that's why you don't want achievements in fucking Classic or TBC, because if you don't have the achievements, you can't get the achievements. It's like credit. You can't get a loan in real life if you don't have a good credit score, but you can't get a good credit score without taking out a loan or using a credit card. It's a bullshit system. The system is rigged against you. You cannot win unless you were born rich, or in the case of the WoW, you cannot win unless you know people who will carry you through shit first, and then you can pretend like you got it on your own.
What about...
It's bullshit.
Have you ever thought about carrying yourself?
What are you talking about?
Like,
I just presented the issue to you is that even if you want to carry yourself,
yeah,
then you have to have the thing, you have to have the score or whatever, because people won't join your group or invite you because you're dog shitty.
well,
you're
of course
dog
not.
shitty
Yeah, why would
character.
somebody want to invite somebody who has bad gear?
But how the fuck do you know that someone is bad if all you base it on is whether or not they have an achievement or a fucking score? next to their
Averages.
name? Averages of what?
Averages
you average
of
every single player that you interact with on a
Well, no, but like
on a
I think
basis
it,
of whether or not they have a fucking score.
I think an intelligent person can assume that a person with a higher gear score is going to do more damage than a person with a lower gear score on average.
Nah, I've seen enough of your raids of where you invited fucking high item level people to know that's not the case.
What the fuck do you mean? We had such high kill times on some of the bosses in Nilotha, Warcraft logs didn't even count them.
Yeah, like fucking 2 years after it came out. Every
So
time
what?
you fucking did that shit. What do you mean, so what? Every time you did that shit on stream, you would invite the highest item level people
Yeah.
and you would still struggle.
No, we wouldn't.
It doesn't mean shit.
We
You're-
rolled
you're-
we rolled it the fuck over.
No, you didn't. We struggled on a lot of the shit.
Not
If it wasn't
really.
Nyalotha, it was any other raid before that. There are plenty of examples that on your stream have happened where you invited, you know, let's say, what was that? Palace. Mythic Palace, you invited some of the highest item level people you knew, and they still fucked up on fucking Ajara or any other fight that we had trouble with.
I did.
Yeah,
And it would have been
and it
even
still
worse.
sucked dick.
And it would have been even worse if we had brought people with lower item level.
We had
Because
to
they,
get the frog in here to carry us, man.
yeah, we had to. Yeah, we had to get Giswiki. No, you're right. It would have been even worse. Because even if we had brought in people with high item level, we can at least overpower some mechanics. If we brought in people with low item level, they would not be able to overpower the mechanics.
Yeah,
and
but now you switch the argument to
did
being
I?
better players to just overgearing the content. So you've
no, so
you've changed
better.
the goalposts.
Okay,
You've
so
moved the goalposts.
No, it's player effectiveness. Player effectiveness is both
But
being
the
able
score
to
doesn't-
overpower content and also being able to know the content. It's a
Yeah,
combination of the two things.
How does the score take that into account? How does the score take into account whether someone is good or they just overpower the content? You can't decide that. The score doesn't decide that.
Okay.
Fuck you.
So all right, so let's say that's true. Would you want to invite somebody with a high score or a low score?
High score all the time, every time.
Why is that?
Well, it's just simple mathematics. If they have
Mm-hmm.
a high score, they're probably better than anybody with a low score.
That's true. That's exactly it. That is 100% it. And that's what makes sense. And that is exactly why the scoring system is good. Because you want to have people that you can trust that will, on average, be better based off of their score.
But the score doesn't determine whether they're better based on gear or whether it's just based on skill.
Yeah.
The only thing the score
It does-
determines is
does
that
that
the content
matter?
was done.
Does it matter whether why they're good? It just matters what they do.
It could matter. Like I said in the example of your raids on stream, it could matter.
Yeah.
Just because you invited the highest item level people doesn't mean that it's a guarantee to clear the content.
No.
Or that those players are better.
But let's
It just
say
means
it's a
that they have better
50%.
gear.
Let's say it's a 50% with item level 225. I think it's a 10% with item level 200.
You're just making that number up, though. You're just guessing. You're
Okay, what
assuming
do you
that
think
that's
the
case
number is?
I don't know. I don't know.
What would
I
you
can't,
assume
like,
that the number is?
I'm not going to assume because what happens
Because
when you
you'd be
assume
wrong.
is that it makes an ass out of you and me.
You're making an ass out of yourself trying to act.
No, your argument is dog shit, and so are you.
How is it? Oh, how's it dog shit? It's
I
not
just
dog shit at all. It doesn't matter
I
because
just
you're
explained
measuring
why
you're measuring player effectiveness. You are measuring player effectiveness. It doesn't matter if they're good because they're skilled or they're good because they're damaged, because they have high damage. What matters is that they are good somehow, and that somehow being good is being translated into your group based off of the score. Now, are they going to be right every time? No, it's not. This is a measurement tool. It's not the only thing that you should look at ever, but it's a pretty good measurement to have.
But you're holding people back. I think the system is holding people back that could be good or that should have a chance, but they don't.
According to who? According to them?
Huh?
Should according to who? They think that they should have a chance.
Everybody should get a fair shake. Okay? That's called equality, buddy.
So how do you think
that's what everybody should be pushing for. We need equality in all things.
How do you think that the first people got the score then?
Easy. Nepotism.
So you think Blizzard just gave them the gear?
Yeah, dude. I think Blizzard provides, like, okay, so what happens is Blizzard provides access to a beta or an alpha, and then those players, those lucky players that get to explore the alpha or beta, they get more experience. And then those players go into the live game, and then they carry other people through the game. And then it's a chain reaction from there. So the privileged people that get the alphas or betas use that privilege to extend their experience of the alpha or beta so that they can clear content faster than anybody else because they know what the hell is going into the content and what the bosses do and all the other mechanics, right? And that's how you get shit like Limit.
So you're saying they spent more time and they invested more time into it, and through investing more time into it, they learned more about it and they were able to beat it?
No, because if anybody could do that, it would be fine. But the issue is that
why can't anybody do it?
These people are treated specially because they get access before anybody else.
So the only people that complete it are the people that get beta access. Is that right?
Or alpha.
That's such horse shit. That's such horse shit. It's not even hard. And on top of that, they make videos about it. Everybody sees it. Everybody knows what the fights are. You've got the dungeon journal.
Oh, well, that's horse shit.
Well, no, because you've got the dungeon journal. You have the dungeon journal. You have the videos. You have the VODs of them doing it.
The dungeon journal doesn't even tell you like fucking most of the shit that you need to know.
Even
all
if a person does not have a high gear score, that does not necessarily mean that a person can't learn a raid or dungeon mechanic on the fly. It's cart before the horse.
It's dog shit.
Oh yeah? You think it's dog shit?
It's dog shit. I would love to see you fucking make a raid when it just comes out, okay?
Yeah.
I want to see this. A fresh raid. And the only people that you invite are completely new people that have no experience from the beta or alpha or anything PTR like that. And all you have to go on is the fucking dungeon journal. Dog shit.
That's what we do. We do that in like maybe a video.
No, it's not what you do. You invite fucking high item level people and try to overgear it.
Yeah,
that's
of course.
What you do every
that
time
doesn't mean that they
doesn't
mean that they went into the PTR. Many of those people, like very few guilds, actually do PTR testing.
Oh my god, you're not understanding my point. My point is, you still invite high item level people to try to overgear the content that's fresh. You're not trying to learn the content.
Because I want to clear it. Why would I not invite somebody with good gear?
Okay, so you're just another elitist that wants the system to be maintained because you think you're better than everybody else, and I think that's disgusting.
Yes, that's exactly it.
I think
that is exactly it.
Should get a fair chance.
They do. They can make their own groups. They can go through it on their own, and they can work their way up the same as all of the other people do too.
That's bullshit. But that's bullshit.
It's not. No, it's not.
Yes, if you look at the PvP system. If you look at the PvP system in WoW, all these fucking rank 1 glads, unless
you played with for Gladiator, by the way.
Yeah, because I'm super Omega clouded because I know you. If I didn't know you, you think someone like Grayson would want to play with me if I wasn't fucking clouded out the ass? No, of course not. That's the only reason. The only reason I get glad is because I know you, and that's why Grayson wants to play with me, because I'm so fucking uber clouded. If you don't have clout, these glads aren't going to play with you unless it's for content on their stream.
Yeah.
Like fucking Peekaboo does when he carries people to fucking 1800. These people are sticking their own little fucking cliques every fucking day. They don't play with shitters like me or you.
All right.
It's the same thing for PvE.
So what you're saying is
Tell
that...
McCool to STFU. I started playing just before Shadowlands.
You gotta TTS.
I joined a shit guild until I was better than them, joined another guild, rinse and repeat. No one should have to carry a random shit pug that wants to skip the learning process.
Exactly.
Fuck McCool.
This entire idea, the reason why I disagree with it is because it's built completely around the idea that it's somebody else's responsibility for your character to get into the dungeon or get into the raid. There is no personal accountability to it at all.
Bullshit.
No, it's not.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying the system. I'm saying the system is rigged against the people that are not being let into these groups. If you make a new character, you're not going to get into these groups because you don't have the fucking shit.
Well, why can't you make your own group and learn it yourself?
Because nobody's going to join your group. They're all trying to get into better groups than
Well, so if there's this huge amount of people that are all trying to find better groups, why don't they just get together and make their own group and learn it and do it themselves?
I didn't say there was a huge amount of people. I'm saying that the people that are new, I'm saying the people that are new and that are not established and that don't have the achievements or the gear score, whatever X is, if they don't have X, then they don't get invited to the group. That's the issue. And it's especially prevalent in PvP.
Well, so how's that? So then it's the game's fault that people don't want to play with them?
No, I'm not saying it's the game's fault. It's definitely a social issue. But I don't think they should be implementing fucking Raider IO into the game.
Why?
I think that's bullshit. I just explained why.
Well, because it doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make any sense because you're like, oh,
you don't make any sense.
No, it does, because you're saying that, oh, well, it's bad because then people won't get invited to groups, but then you don't invite people to groups because you consciously know that they're gonna suck if they have a bad score. So then
that's right.
Then the score is serving its purpose.
Yes, I've got internalized elitism. We need to abolish internalized elitism so that we can include more people into the system.
Listen, the system is not good based off of how many people get plus 20s or plus 15s. The system is good if it's rewarding or not. The fact is the rewards are out there, and there are some people who are too fucking lazy to go after those rewards, and they want other people to carry them. And they don't get invited because they're depleting plus 5 keys, or they just barely did a plus 10, and they're upset that they're not getting invited to plus 15s all day. That's not the game's fault.
But the rewards are that's not relevant to what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't think they should be implementing a system that's more or less based on a social hierarchy to weed out like players that they think are worse than others just because they have a lower score. I think that's bullshit. I don't have a good score. I don't even have the add-on installed. But I mean, of course, chat's gonna disagree. But I would say that I'm better than the average player. But if I don't have a high score for fucking dungeons, then I'm not gonna get invited. And that's bullshit.
Look at the flavor text.
Okay. Here's the reality: is that I understand that's how you feel about it. I get it. But here's the truth: is that if you've got 2 hours to play the fucking game, you need to find somebody that knows what they're doing. And having a score, and having that score have a general idea of how much better or worse a player is, not a guarantee, but a general idea, a general indicator, makes the game easier, and it makes people play with other people of the same score. Because if you're looking for other people that have the same score as you, the odds are is that people feel like they're being held back by their score. Like, oh, everybody else has a high score, and I have a low score. But none of those people ever think to themselves, maybe I should get together with people that have the same score as me and build up the scores together. They want to get fucking carried. That's what it is.
They don't think like that.
Say what?
You are ascribing that kind of meaning, so that you can, so that
I'm ascribing what?
Argument. You are ascribing that mentality, so that you can help your own argument.
Well, yeah, because that's why it is.
It's a self-serving argument. Like, it's bullshit.
There's no other reason to not like it. There's no other reason.
I just told you the reasons to not like it.
Yeah, and they're all built around not getting invited.
It promotes bad social hierarchy.
No, it doesn't.
That's not a good. Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Everybody knows it. You literally bring people's fucking things up on stream to judge whether or not they can have an opinion on something.
Well, if somebody's a doctor, I don't want to have their opinion about what's wrong with my car. And if somebody's not a doctor, I don't want to have their opinion about something that's medical. If somebody is a plus 15...
that's like, no, but that's different. That'd be like if you were looking up an ESO player's fucking profile and they had an opinion about WoW. They don't play WoW, just like a doctor doesn't work on cars.
Yeah.
But you're looking at people who already play WoW and judging their opinion based on their fucking armory.
Of course, because their opinion is based around...
Is right.
Wait a second.
The score is a measure of proven effectiveness.
Exactly.
Having low score at beginning of the season is different if you go on vacation for a week or two at start of season and come in with no Ilv or score. Not black and white topic.
It's not a black and white topic, but it's pretty fucking clear. There are some exceptions, but it's not always the true. Listen, I think that it's very simple to me. People that are against these kinds of systems are against them because the systems are not getting them into groups. And the people that are for these systems are for them because they're able to make the systems work for them. Is Raider.io good for the...
Just because someone has done it multiple times doesn't mean that they would be better than someone doing it for their first time. Someone with lower Ilv may know the fight better than someone with high
Ilv. People don't understand the idea of probability. And like, probability is something that people don't get. Like, this is assuming all other things being equal. Probability is going to assume that somebody with a higher item level is going to probably understand the fight because they have a higher chance of knowing them.
In the hospital.
If
I
people
love how the guy that thinks he is going to get a mount every time is trying to explaining probability to us.
So listen, here's what I think to everybody who thinks that Raider.io is bad for the game, including McConnell. I want McConnell to go through, and I want you to do a raid or a dungeon with people that have no Raider.io score. Try to do a 15, see how long that takes, see how much fun that is, and then go back and do the same dungeon with the same comp with a bunch of people that have a 3K score. And I wonder which one is going to be more pleasant and easier to do.
What are you I have done that. I've been trying to do that. Like, I've done a couple groups like this season, trying to get 15s, because I wanted to get it done, because I knew that we weren't going to get it done, because you just dragged your feet the whole time. I tried to get it done, and it's fucking hard. It's not easy to work your fucking way up. I'll tell you this. Would you have rather had Raider.io and the fucking group finder in Classic? Would you want it in Classic and TBC? Would you want that kind of system in those games?
Would I want it in Classic WoW? No, because it's a different thing. It's a different type of game.
How is it a different thing?
It's a different game because it wasn't in the game initially. And also on top of that, I think that having logs in Classic WoW are completely fine. So logically, it's the difference between having something that exists inside of the game, inside of the game's API that you're able to work with directly, versus something that's an outside community source and a community tool that I'm completely fine with. Classic WoW is supposed to be a facsimile of what the game used to be and not what the game is supposed to be, or whatever people's viewpoint is on it. And also the reason why I didn't want achievements is because it directs gameplay. I don't think that's necessarily bad, but for what Classic is and for what Burning Crusade is, that's not what they were, and so that's what I don't think Classic should be.
Yeah, but how can you look at TBC and say, oh, well, this was the best expansion? Yeah. And you're not even going to look at the systems that were used in TBC and say, well, we should just implement that, or we should take that away from the current game. Like, having that community aspect in the current game where you have to get to know people.
That's not what happened.
Guild. What are you talking about? That's exactly what happened. If we didn't have Olympus and we just had the fucking just whatever system, like you can call it whatever, whether it was gear score or Raider.io or whatever X system. If we just had that system instead of having Olympus and getting to know people in Olympus and having the guild there, do you think that would have been better than the way it went?
How do we
having the system?
How do we invite people into the guild for Olympus to do the raids with us?
We just randomly invited people.
No, we didn't. I inspected them and I saw if they had good gear or not. I got their gear score, but I had to do it manually. I lined them up. Yes, I lined them up in Ironforge and I inspected them, and I was like, okay, this guy is geared. I'm going to invite him.
Yeah, but that didn't even work half the time because either they quit playing or they were actually bad. To determine the good players, like, what about, here's a good example. Remember Longneck Clamby?
Yep, I remember Longneck Clamby.
Okay, so this gnome warlock was with the guild for all of fucking maybe like 6 months, 7 months. And you invite him to the guild because he had okay gear. It was okay-ish at the time. It was like pre-raid bis or whatever.
Okay.
And then he joined the guild, raid a little bit, and then fucking quit. Just fucking quit out of the blue.
He left the guild.
No reason.
Yeah.
He just stopped raiding.
Yeah.
So your
so what do you think
criteria
the people
for inviting him just because he was fucking pre-raid bis didn't have anything to do with whether or not he was good or not. He was just in pre-raid bis.
Yeah. So logically, it would make more sense that people that are in pre-raid bis are more dedicated to the game than people who are not, right?
But he wasn't dedicated to the game.
He was for a while, and then he quit. That's the same as a lot of people. There's no metric. Like, listen, unless you want me to get people to sign a blood pact that they won't leave the raid until we kill Kel'Thuzad and Nax, it's not going to happen. Like, I can guarantee you, if we went and we did a Mythic Plus right now, I just looked at your scores. You've done 3 15s and 2 of them were overtime. If we did
they were terrible.
They were terrible. I have never done a Mythic Plus before a 15. If we did one right now, if we did any of these 15s, it doesn't matter which one, we would clear it if we brought a good group. 100%. It would be easy. It would be fucking easy.
But you're looking at this from a point of you're in front of tens of thousands of people and we could just get the cream of the crop. I'm talking from the perspective of these people that aren't, picking from thousands, tens of thousands of people, and they just got to play with whoever either queues up in their group or whatever group they can get into.
So you're speaking from a position that you're not in order to make your argument.
Because I can put myself in that position. A person that's not in that position can't just, go in front of tens of thousands of people and then get that. But you can look at it from a position of, if I didn't have this, then it would be a lot harder.
Yeah, of course it's going to be harder.
That's why I think the system is bad. I don't think the system provides a good hierarchy for people to play the game in. I don't think. Then what would make a better hierarchy? I think just returning the way guilds used to be, where you had to get to know people and then play with them and see if they're good or not, and then establish like that kind of thing. And I think it was better for the game overall when you had to actually interact with people and talk to them or invite them to the guild or whatever, rather than, does XYZ have this number attached to their character? Oh, okay, well, I'll just invite them right now and we'll see how it works.
So do you think that they should disable logs in Classic WoW then? Because that's the way people do it.
100%.
Do you think they should disable logs in Classic WoW? Like, you can't even tell if somebody's good or not.
Fuck logs.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, I'm a radical. What can I say?
Oh my god.
Radical. Fuck logs.
Just be better at the game or join a group that understands why you're not getting high logs. Like, I don't understand why it's always people try to figure out ways to tell if somebody's good or not, and people always try to rationalize why they can't meet the system requirements. Maybe it's because they suck. Like, that's the truth. It's probably because they fucking suck. And here's also the truth. If we go and I get a group full of random people, if I make a group right now, and me and you do any Mythic Plus, and I say Asmongold fucking Mythic Plus 15, and we take people, and I don't even think I have Raider.io installed either. I just get people that have a high item level. We will probably clear it. It'll be fine. It won't even matter. The Raider.io won't even make that big of a difference to begin with.
And let me say something else. I'll go even further, and I'll say that log log chasing has been a detriment to the fucking game.
Well, anybody that's raided knows that. You've got some idiot that's standing in fire trying to cash shit.
How the fuck can you sit there and say, oh, well, logs and Raider.io should be in the game because they help
because you can just faster. Not log. Just don't log if you don't want to do it.
That's such a forehead fucking argument. Just don't do X, dude.
It is a forehead argument. Just don't log. I remember we had this problem in my guild. We solved it because we stopped using logs. We turned off logs. People stopped standing in fire. Problem solved.
That's the thing. If you don't log, then you're not going to get invited to shit because people can't check your shit to see whether or not you're good. So it's literally it's a self-perpetuating issue. The logs cause the issue, which means that Raider.io is an issue because it's based on the logs. And then everybody's chasing the logs.
Well, it's not based on... The logs are different because it is and it's not. Because logs are... They're like individual performance kills. Like, Raider.io is much more binary. It's like you either clear the dungeon or you don't.
That's not really my point. My point was that people are chasing the logs and they're chasing the numbers rather than chasing the enjoyment that they get from playing with other people and enjoying the game. And rather than playing the game and enjoying the raid or the loot.
I think that the loot is numbers, by the way. The loot gives you better logs. I think people care about getting those parses. People care about hitting those numbers, and that's what matters to them. And it doesn't make a difference. People enjoy playing for logs, and I think this idea that, oh, if you play for logs, you're a bad person or you're stupid or whatever is dumb. The only problem is, remember, you have people that some of them like playing for logs and some of them don't. That's the issue. There's nothing wrong with playing for logs. I don't understand how... Yeah, I mean, well, let's see what people are saying here. Big dump, my retarded? Wait, are you guys...
So that's a little bit retarded, I would say.
Wait, so you think it's retarded to want to be able to play for logs? So it's bad to want to perform your character at the highest level?
Yeah, because what happens when you play for logs in Classic? If you play for logs in Classic, what happens is you play for a couple hours every week, you get your buffs, and then you raid log. Because if you actually play the game, you lose your buffs, and then you won't get higher logs. And then nobody's out playing the game because they're waiting for the Tuesday to roll around so that they can log in with all their buffs, go into the raid, smash it, get better logs, and then log off until the next fucking raid. It's bullshit.
So
it's
what?
Complete bullshit.
So what? That's the way they want to play the game.
Well, the way they want to play the game is detrimental to the game.
I don't think so, because they don't have to play the game that way. They're choosing to play the game that way because they get more enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, but everybody fucking plays the game that way, and it's bullshit.
No, they don't.
It's like the only other way to play the game.
What about in retail WoW? Here.
You really want to use retail WoW as your way to?
Well, no, because you don't have to log.
As a way to get around my argument.
No, because you don't have
people quitting the game.
No, because people don't have to log off all week for retail WoW.
And that's a good thing. At least it gives.
So are logs bad for retail WoW?
What?
Are logs bad for retail WoW?
100%. Logs are fucking terrible. The logs should be listen. They should abolish. They should defund logs. Is what they should do. They need to defund logs immediately.
This is crazy. Absolutely crazy.
A-Lab.
Jesus Christ. And so, yeah, you've done... I'm looking at your logs. Yeah, you have, like, for one, you have a ton of fucking logs in AQ. Like, you have 98% in AQ. You've got a 99 on Cthulhu.
Who cares? I don't care. You think I sit around going... What kind of log am I gonna get?
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna get this log. I'm logging.
So you don't. Yeah. So you don't have to log off all week because you don't do that.
Because it's stupid.
So it's the point is that, like, it proves that you don't need to do that in order to get the high logs.
Yeah, but I shouldn't be playing around logs. Is my point. What
then
you're saying has nothing to do with
You don't have to. There's nobody saying that you have to. Of course some people do.
Listen, if every person was like me, the game would be in a much better state.
If every person was like me, the game would be in a much better state. What do you mean?
Fuck you. We both presented our arguments, and chat can decide who's right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Truth isn't a democracy. I'm right, McConnell's wrong.
Fuck you.
If you want to do a Mythic plus 15 right now, I'll show you. I'll show you.
I'm playing Ark.
Log on, because you know I'll be right. I can make a group right now and complete any 15 you want. All I'm saying is that I think that Classic WoW is probably a better new player experience than Retail WoW is. I do really think that, especially because of like how many other like weird things there are in the game and how broken the social system is too. Like the social system is totally fucking broken. You can't find people to play with. It's weird.
You're such a fucking hypocrite, dude.
Why?
How the fuck can you sit there and talk about the social system? You're such a You're such a piece of shit. You are such a piece of shit. Fuck you, dude.
I forgot that the only social system in the game is doing Mythic Plus.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's not just Mythic Plus, it's rating 2.
Yeah,
you know what that is? That's fucking, you know what this whole argument is about? It's about fucking raider privilege. We need to dismantle.
These are two completely different things. Like finding a group of people in order to do Hogger is a completely different thing than having a score for doing a Mythic plus 15 max level.
Bullshit. I guarantee you if dude,
he can't even get it out without laughing because he knows it's so fucking stupid.
It's so ridiculous.
It's so fucking stupid.
True. I guarantee if there was a fucking gear score or a Raider IO system in fucking Classic WoW, you would have to have an IO.
What, for Hogger privilege?
Hogger.
Is that what you're really gonna say? No, that's not true. That's such a bunch of fucking bullshit. There is a Raider IO system. It's your level. It's your level.
What's your IO score before I invite you to this Hogger group?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my whole life. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. True? You guys have got to be trolling. You guys have to be trolling, man. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Hogger IO too?
No! That's your level. You already have it.
I'm telling you.
It's not... Hogger IO. Shut up.